Hello guys, today, we explore the life of a man whose leadership helped guide the United States through some of its darkest and most uncertain chapters. A president whose calm voice and firm decisions brought relief to millions who had lost hope. A leader who reshaped government, modernized economic systems, and carried the nation forward during the Great Depression and World War II. This is the story of Franklin Delano Roosevelt, a name that still echoes across history as a symbol of resilience, courage, and unwavering determination. Franklin D. Roosevelt was born on January 30, 1882, in Hyde Park, New York. He grew up in a world of privilege, surrounded by wealth, comfort, and opportunity. Yet despite his privileged upbringing, Franklin was encouraged from a young age to care about society and service. His parents, James and Sarah Roosevelt, believed deeply in responsibility and helping others. Franklin's mother, Sarah, played a particularly strong role in his early life, shaping his confidence and guiding his education. As a child, Franklin was curious and observant. He loved nature, sailing, and exploring the outdoors. His early education was mostly at home with private tutors before attending the prestigious Groton School in Massachusetts. There, under the influence of its headmaster, Endicott Peabody, Franklin first encountered the idea that privilege meant responsibility, the belief that those who have much must use their abilities to help others. This idea would stay with him forever. After Groton, Roosevelt attended Harvard University. During his time there, his interest in politics deepened, and he became managing editor of the Harvard Crimson newspaper. While not an extraordinary student academically, he was confident, social, and politically ambitious. He watched his distant cousin, President Theodore Roosevelt, rise to national prominence and lead the country with energy and charisma. Newspapers were filled with headlines about Theodore Roosevelt's achievements, especially after the Spanish-American War. One New York newspaper famously printed, "Roosevelt, the man who dares." Young Franklin admired him greatly and began to imagine a similar future for himself. After graduating from Harvard, Franklin attended Columbia Law School, though he never completed his degree. Instead, he passed the bar exam and began work at a law firm in New York City, yet the legal profession did not excite him. What excited him was government, the opportunity to serve, to shape policy, and to lead. In 1905, Franklin married Eleanor Roosevelt, another distant cousin and the niece of Theodore Roosevelt. Eleanor would later become one of the most influential first ladies in American history. Their partnership would endure challenges, disagreements, public scrutiny, and change. Yet through it all, they remained a uniquely powerful team. Franklin's public career began in 1910 when he won election to the New York State Senate, running as a Democrat in a region traditionally dominated by Republicans. Newspapers at the time described him as a rising political figure. One article read, "Young Roosevelt brings energy and new ideas to Albany." As a state senator, Roosevelt fought against political corruption and aligned himself with reformers. His courage and independence quickly attracted national attention. In 1913, President Woodrow Wilson appointed him Assistant Secretary of the Navy, a position once held by Theodore Roosevelt. Franklin thrived in the role, helping modernize the U.S. Navy during World War I. He earned respect for his organizational abilities, energy, and leadership. But life soon changed dramatically. In 1921, at the age of 39, Franklin D. Roosevelt was diagnosed with polio after falling severely ill while vacationing in Canada. The illness left him paralyzed from the waist down. Newspapers reported, "Roosevelt stricken, future uncertain." Many believed his political career was over. But Roosevelt refused to be defined by physical limitation. He spent years in rehabilitation, especially at Warm Springs, Georgia, where he discovered therapeutic benefits of the warm mineral waters. His struggle with disability deepened his empathy, reshaped his worldview, and strengthened his determination. By 1928, Roosevelt returned to politics, winning election as governor of New York. His leadership during the early years of the Great Depression demonstrated both courage and creativity. He introduced social welfare programs, unemployment relief, and government reforms. One newspaper headline from that time read, "Governor Roosevelt offers hope to the jobless." His actions captured the attention of the nation. Just a few years later, in 1932, America faced one of its greatest crises. The Great Depression devastated industries, banks collapsed, millions were unemployed, and fear spread across the country. In that moment of national despair, Franklin D. Roosevelt ran for president with a promise: New Deal for the American people. His campaign slogan, "The only thing we have to fear is fear itself," became a rallying cry. In November 1932, Roosevelt won the presidency in a landslide. When he took office, the nation was desperate for leadership. Banks had failed, factories were shuttered, and families were living through hunger. poverty, and uncertainty. But Roosevelt was ready. During his first 100 days in office, Roosevelt launched sweeping reforms now known as the New Deal. His administration created programs designed to stabilize the economy, create jobs, and restore public confidence. Agencies like the Civilian Conservation Corps, Public Works Administration, Works Progress Administration, and Social Security transformed the role of government and helped millions survive. Roosevelt also introduced a new method of communication, the fireside chats. Broadcast over radio, these calm and reassuring talks made Americans feel the president was sitting in their living rooms, speaking directly to them. One newspaper described the effect, "Roosevelt speaks, and the nation breathes easier." These broadcasts strengthened trust and helped unite the country during times of crisis. Under Roosevelt's leadership, financial reforms rebuilt the banking system, labor protections expanded workers' rights, and programs helped stabilize agriculture and industry. His policies did not end the Depression overnight, but they restored dignity, hope, and stability. As the 1930s progressed, clouds of war formed overseas. Hitler expanded Germany's military power, and Japan advanced across Asia. Though the United States initially remained neutral, Roosevelt recognized the growing danger. In 1940, he made history by winning a third presidential term, something no president had done before. And then, everything changed on December 7, 1941. The attack on Pearl Harbor shocked the nation. Newspapers printed bold headlines, "War." Millions listened as Roosevelt delivered his historic speech declaring December 7th a date which will live in infamy. The United States entered World War II, and Roosevelt became a wartime leader. Roosevelt mobilized the economy, expanded the military, and worked with global allies including Winston Churchill of Britain and Joseph Stalin of the Soviet Union. Factories shifted to wartime production. Women entered the workforce in large numbers, symbolized by the now iconic figure known as Rosie the Riveter. Roosevelt guided strategy, diplomacy, and international alliance building with steady leadership. Despite the pressures of war, Roosevelt continued to support social reforms at home, promoting fairness, economic equity, and expanded government responsibility. He envisioned a post-war world founded on cooperation, peace, and shared security, ideas that laid the foundation for the United Nations. By the early 1940s, Roosevelt's health was declining. Years of stress, leadership responsibility, and his lifelong physical condition took a toll, yet he continued working tirelessly to ensure victory and a stable future for the United States and its allies. In 1944, Roosevelt was elected to a fourth term, a testament to the trust the nation placed in him. But he would not see the end of the war. On April 12, 1945, while resting in Warm Springs, Franklin D. Roosevelt passed away. The news stunned the world. Headlines across the globe announced the loss. "Roosevelt gone. Nation mourns its leader." He had led the country through economic disaster and global war, and reshaped American government forever. Franklin D. Roosevelt's legacy is vast. He expanded the role of government in people's lives, strengthened the social safety net, and demonstrated how leadership could calm fear and restore hope. His policies reshaped the American economy, his diplomacy helped define post-war peace, and his resolve inspired millions. Today, we remember him not only for his achievements, but for his spirit, a spirit defined by determination in the face of hardship. Roosevelt once said, "When you reach the end of your rope, tie a knot and hang on." That sentence captured his life, a life marked not by ease, but by endurance. As time moves forward and history continues to unfold, his story remains a reminder that true leadership requires compassion, strength, and the willingness to face uncertainty with courage. His voice may no longer speak through fireside radios, but his message remains steady, calm, and full of possibility. Thank you for joining this journey through history and through the life of a leader who guided a nation through fear, hardship, and change, a leader whose legacy continues to shape the world. And as we close, let us remember that hope, resilience, and unity have the power to rebuild and guide any nation forward, just as they once did under Franklin Delano Roosevelt. And if you like this story, so do hit like, share and subscribe the channel.